You pour it into your morning coffee. You stir it gently into your warm bowl of oats. For years, it's been part of your routine, simple, familiar, comforting. But what if that glass of milk, sitting quietly in your fridge, wasn't as innocent as it seemed? What if, instead of nourishing your body, it's been slowly working against it, silently straining your heart, clouding your mind, upsetting your digestion, and weakening the very bones that hold you up? It sounds dramatic, but for adults over 60, this isn't just a theory. It's a growing concern backed by science. A recent study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition revealed that several types of milk commonly consumed by seniors may contribute to chronic inflammation, high blood pressure, gut imbalances, and even accelerated cognitive decline. And the most alarming part, these effects are often subtle. You might not even notice them until it's too late. A little more fatigue in the afternoon, a stomach that doesn't feel quite right after breakfast, a word you can't recall, a step that feels slightly less steady than last month. You tell yourself it's just age. But what if it's more than that? What if the very milk you've trusted for decades no longer serves the body you're living in today? Here's the good news. You don't need to overhaul your life. You don't need to give up comfort or ritual. All it takes is one mindful choice, a single switch in the kind of milk you reach for each day. And that change could support deeper sleep, clearer thinking, better digestion, and even stronger bones. Welcome to Golden Years Wellness, where aging is not about decline, but about discovery. Here, we believe growing older is a journey of strength, wisdom, and conscious renewal. If you're ready to feel more energized, supported, and empowered in your everyday choices, you're in the right place. In today's guide, we'll uncover the 3 types of milk seniors should avoid, no matter how familiar they seem, and introduce you to 3 powerful alternatives that can help restore energy, protect memory, and gently support your body from the inside out. Let's begin, because the next sip you take could be either a step toward healing or a slow drift away from it. So now, let's talk about the milk in your fridge, the one that feels the most familiar. It's probably the same milk you grew up with, the one your parents poured over cereal, the one you stirred into warm porridge on cold mornings, the one that made every cup of coffee feel like home. Whole milk. It's comforting, nostalgic. It reminds us of simpler times. And for many seniors, that alone makes it feel like the healthiest choice. But here's the quiet truth. That same creamy glass that once helped you grow may now be working against you. Whole milk contains over 4.5 grams of saturated fat per 8-ounce serving. While that might not seem like much, for adults over 60, it adds up quietly and consistently. As we age, our metabolism naturally slows down. Our arteries become less flexible, our heart works harder, and our ability to manage cholesterol declines. Add saturated fat into that equation, and what was once harmless can now quietly escalate into risk. In fact, researchers at Harvard University found that older adults who regularly consume whole milk face up to an 18% increased risk of cardiovascular events, including heart attacks and strokes. You might not feel it at first. Maybe just a little shortness of breath after climbing stairs. Maybe a heavier feeling after meals. Or that occasional tightness in the chest you chalk up to stress or age. But what if it's not just aging? What if it's inflammation building from the inside? And there's more. Whole milk is also calorie-dense, meaning it delivers more energy than your body might be able to use. Over time, those extra calories can quietly lead to weight gain, especially dangerous for seniors already dealing with reduced mobility or muscle loss. Every extra pound increases pressure on joints and raises the risk of insulin resistance. Then there's lactose intolerance, which becomes more common with age. As your body produces less lactase, the enzyme needed to digest milk sugar, you may begin to experience bloating, gas, or digestive discomfort after your usual cup of milk, without even realizing milk is the cause. So while whole milk may feel familiar, may even bring a sense of warmth and tradition, it's often delivering more risk than nourishment for older adults. And the saddest part, it's easy to overlook because it doesn't cause sharp pain. It doesn't feel urgent. It simply chips away at your energy, your digestion, and your cardiovascular strength one creamy cup at a time. That's why it's time to question the comfort. Because that warm, familiar glass may now be quietly draining the strength you've worked so hard to preserve. Coming up next, we'll explore another type of milk that is even more indulgent and far more dangerous than it seems. You've probably used it in your favorite desserts or stirred it lovingly into your morning brew. But the truth behind sweetened condensed milk might surprise you. Stay with us. Your health deserves to know the difference. Now, let's talk about something sweeter, something thicker, something that, for many of us, doesn't just flavor our mornings, it flavors our memories. Sweetened condensed milk. It's in your favorite cup of CPHSA. It drips slowly over puddings, flans, and holiday desserts. It brings back warm images of festive tables, family gatherings, and the comfort of tradition. But beneath the creamy richness hides one of the most harmful ingredients for seniors over 60, concentrated sugar. Just 1 tablespoon of sweetened condensed milk contains around 10 grams of added sugar. And here's the truth, most of us use far more than a spoonful. A few squeezes into your coffee, a generous layer in dessert, and suddenly your body is under glycemic attack. As we age, our body's ability to process sugar efficiently declines. The pancreas, the small organ responsible for producing insulin, begins to work harder and slower. Overloading it with concentrated sugar spikes your blood sugar levels and places enormous stress on your system. For seniors already living with prediabetes, insulin resistance, or type 2 diabetes, this kind of sugar load is especially dangerous. It speeds up progression and worsens glucose control, all while masking itself in the comfort of sweetness. But the damage doesn't stop there. Chronic sugar consumption causes systemic inflammation, a silent but destructive process that wears down your immune system, increases oxidative stress, and accelerates cellular aging. Worse still, research now shows a strong link between excessive sugar intake and cognitive decline. Some experts even refer to Alzheimer's disease as type 3 diabetes, reflecting how insulin resistance affects not just the body but the brain. So if you've been feeling foggy after meals, forgetting small things more often, struggling to focus, or feeling mentally slower than usual, take a closer look at what you're stirring into your cup. Because that little swirl of sweetness may be doing more than sweetening your morning. It may be quietly interfering with memory, focus, and cardiovascular health. And there's more. Condensed milk's thick texture and high sugar content slow digestion, often leading to bloating, irregularity, and a sense of sluggishness after meals. It disrupts the natural rhythm of your gut and may even contribute to conditions like acid reflux or constipation. Then there's the impact on your heart. Sugar, especially in liquid or syrupy form, damages blood vessels, stiffens arteries, and elevates triglyceride levels, all of which are already high-risk factors for seniors. So while it might seem like an innocent indulgence, a beloved tradition, or a harmless addition to your coffee ritual, sweetened condensed milk comes with a hidden cost paid slowly, quietly, and often without warning. 1 spoonful at a time, it may be weakening the very systems you rely on to think clearly, move freely, and live fully. Next, we'll look at a milk that often masquerades as the healthy, plant-based option, especially for those avoiding dairy. But beneath its gentle image lies one of the most nutritionally shallow choices out there. Let's talk about rice milk and why it might be the last thing your aging body needs. Now, let's move to a type of milk that often appears harmless. In fact, it's usually chosen by those who are trying to do the right thing, those seeking dairy-free, gentle, plant-based options that seem safe for sensitive stomachs. We're talking about rice milk. At first glance, rice milk feels like a good choice. It's light, smooth, and often labeled as easy to digest. For older adults who struggle with bloating or lactose intolerance, it may seem like a perfect alternative. But beneath that gentle appearance lies a nutritional gap, one that can have serious consequences as we age. Here's the first and most critical issue. Rice milk contains almost no protein, less than 1 gram per cup. And after the age of 60, protein is no longer optional, it becomes essential. Your body's ability to maintain and rebuild muscle declines sharply. Without adequate protein, you begin to lose lean muscle mass, which leads to reduced strength, impaired balance, and a much higher risk of falls, fractures, and hospitalizations. So while rice milk may feel light and easy, it's not giving your muscles the tools they need to stay strong. But there's another silent threat hidden in many rice milk products: inorganic arsenic. Rice, as a plant, naturally absorbs more arsenic from the soil than most crops. And while occasional exposure isn't alarming, consistent daily intake, especially through something like rice milk, can build up over time. This places added stress on your kidneys and liver, the very organs responsible for filtering toxins from your body. Over time, chronic exposure to arsenic has been linked to increased cancer risk, impaired detoxification, and a greater burden on your immune system. And there's still more. Despite its mild flavor, rice milk has a very high glycemic index. That means it spikes your blood sugar rapidly, flooding your bloodstream with glucose without providing the fiber, protein, or healthy fats needed to stabilize that rise. The result? Sudden energy crashes, poor glucose control, and increased insulin resistance, especially risky for seniors managing diabetes or metabolic concerns. Some commercial rice milk brands even add sweeteners, making the blood sugar impact even worse. So while it may seem light and digestible, rice milk often delivers too little of what you need and too much of what you don't. It's a nutritional illusion. Easy to drink, but hard on your system. You need a milk that builds strength, not one that quietly takes it away. Coming up next, we shift from the problem to the solution. You've seen the 3 milks that may be doing more harm than good. Now, it's time to discover the 3 powerful, nourishing alternatives that can protect your heart, support your bones, and keep your mind sharp, one glass at a time. Let us begin with a milk that is quietly gaining respect in the world of senior nutrition: fermented soy milk. So far, we've looked at the silent threats, the milks that comfort us emotionally, yet quietly chip away at our strength. Now, let's turn the page. Because just as some milks can harm, others can heal. And among them, one quietly stands out as a true ally for older adults: fermented soy milk. Not just any soy milk, but fermented. And that one word, fermented, makes all the difference. You see, after age 60, your body changes in profound ways. Muscle mass declines, digestion slows, and nutrient absorption becomes less efficient. You don't just need calories, you need targeted nourishment that supports your body where it is most vulnerable. Fermented soy milk delivers exactly that. First, it's a complete protein. That means it contains all 9 essential amino acids your body needs to rebuild and maintain muscle. This is critical, because without enough protein, your muscles weaken, balance declines, and independence slips further out of reach. In one glass, fermented soy milk helps counteract the very process of age-related muscle loss or sarcopenia that threatens mobility in millions of seniors every year. But this milk doesn't stop at muscles. It also supports your bones and brain. Fermented soy is naturally rich in isoflavones, plant compounds that mimic estrogen's protective effects, especially in postmenopausal women. These compounds have been shown to preserve bone density, reducing the risk of fractures and osteoporosis, without the risks of hormone replacement therapy. And the brain? Studies suggest that isoflavones may help enhance memory, improve cognitive function, and even reduce the risk of developing Alzheimer's disease. In a time when memory lapses feel like part of aging, this milk may help slow the fade and sharpen the mind. Still, the biggest advantage of fermented soy milk is right in its name, fermentation. This natural process breaks down soy's nutrients, making them easier for aging digestive systems to absorb. That means less bloating, less discomfort, and more usable nutrition in every sip. Even better, fermentation introduces probiotics, the beneficial bacteria that nourish your gut, support immune function, and are increasingly linked to better sleep and mood regulation. And unlike whole milk or condensed milk, fermented soy contains no cholesterol and very little saturated fat, making it a heart-healthy choice too. You can drink it chilled, warm it gently before bed, mix it into smoothies, or add it to cooking. However you use it, this milk does more than fill your glass, it quietly rebuilds your foundation. This isn't just milk, it's restoration in liquid form. Up next, we'll look at another underrated powerhouse, unsweetened almond milk. It's light, it's simple, and yet it delivers protection for both the heart and the brain in ways that might surprise you. From the deep nourishment of fermented soy milk, we move now to something lighter. A milk so smooth, so subtle, it's often overlooked. But don't let its simplicity fool you, because behind its gentle taste lies a quiet strength that can protect your heart, sharpen your mind, and soothe your body with every sip. We're talking about unsweetened almond milk. For many seniors, almond milk feels like a modern trend. But it's more than a trend. It's a smart, senior-friendly choice that supports your cardiovascular health, brain function, and digestive ease. Let's start with the heart. Unlike whole milk or condensed milk, almond milk contains virtually no saturated fat and absolutely no cholesterol. Instead, it's rich in monounsaturated fats, the same heart-protective fats found in olive oil. These healthy fats help lower LDL bad cholesterol, improve artery flexibility, and support circulation, all crucial for older adults managing high blood pressure or a history of heart disease. But almond milk doesn't stop at the heart. It also brings one of the most powerful brain protective nutrients to the table, vitamin E. Just 1 cup of unsweetened almond milk delivers a significant dose of this antioxidant, which plays a key role in neutralizing oxidative stress, the kind of cellular damage that contributes to memory loss and cognitive decline. In fact, research has shown that seniors with higher vitamin E intake tend to have sharper memory, better verbal recall, and slower rates of mental aging. Then there's the gut and the scale. As we age, digestion becomes more sensitive. Bloating, indigestion, and weight fluctuations become more common. Unsweetened almond milk is naturally low in calories, dairy-free, and gentle on the stomach, making it ideal for those with lactose intolerance, digestive sensitivities, or weight concerns. It provides a satisfying, hydrating base for smoothies, cereals, oatmeal, or even coffee without the heaviness of cream or the hidden sugars of flavored milks. But here's the most important part. Choose the unsweetened version. Many almond milks on the market are heavily sweetened, which not only spikes blood sugar, but also undermines the very benefits you're trying to gain. Added sugars can trigger inflammation, disrupt insulin balance, and add unnecessary strain to your heart and brain. So, check the label. Look for unsweetened, and make sure it has no added sugars or artificial flavorings. The simpler, the better. Light on the palate, yet strong in impact, unsweetened almond milk is a gentle revolution in senior nutrition. And now, let's explore one final milk that's both comforting and powerful. It comes from a humble grain but delivers protection where it matters most: your bones, your heart, and your ability to rest. Up next, calcium-fortified oat milk, and why it may be the most soothing support your body never knew it needed. We've talked about protein for strength. We've explored healthy fats and antioxidants for the heart and mind. But now, let's turn to something many seniors quietly worry about: bone health. Because after 60, our bones no longer rebuild as quickly. Tiny fractures go unnoticed until they become real risks. A simple fall can become a long hospital stay. And the slow thinning of our bones, what we call osteoporosis, can steal mobility, independence, and even confidence. That's where calcium-fortified oat milk comes in. You might not expect much from oats. They're humble, soft, even plain. But when transformed into milk and fortified properly, they become a gentle powerhouse for aging bodies. Let's start with the obvious: calcium and vitamin D. Oat milk that's fortified with these two nutrients provides the essential building blocks for strong bones. Calcium strengthens the structure. Vitamin D helps your body absorb and use it effectively. Together, they help prevent bone loss, reduce the risk of hip fractures, and preserve the skeletal strength you need to stay active, independent, and mobile. But oat milk does more than care for your bones. It's also a quiet ally for your heart. Oats are rich in a type of soluble fiber called beta-glucan. This remarkable compound helps your body naturally remove excess cholesterol. It binds to LDL particles in the digestive tract and escorts them out of the body, lowering your cholesterol levels without medications and without side effects. For seniors managing heart disease, high cholesterol, or blood pressure, that's a powerful daily advantage. And then there's digestion, a system that often becomes more sensitive with age. Oat milk is naturally lactose-free, low in allergens, and soothing to the gut. It supports regular bowel movements and relieves bloating or constipation, helping you feel lighter, more comfortable, and more in tune with your body's natural rhythm. But perhaps oat milk's most beautiful benefit is emotional. There's something deeply comforting about warming up a cup before bed. Maybe it's the soft texture, the subtle flavor, or the way it reminds us of simpler times. But a warm glass of oat milk can signal safety to the nervous system, calm anxiety, and promote deep, restful sleep, something many older adults struggle with. It's not just about nutrition, it's about nurturing. Calcium-fortified oat milk doesn't just strengthen your bones. It gently restores your sense of peace, one sip at a time. Now that you've seen all three nourishing alternatives: fermented soy, unsweetened almond, and fortified oat, let's take a moment to reflect on the bigger picture. Because sometimes the smallest choices, like the milk you pour into your glass, can lead to the biggest changes in how you feel, move, think, and age. Let's bring it all together in the final part of this journey. Let's pause for a moment and take a step back. Because what you've just seen isn't just a list of milks. It has a quiet revelation about what we pour into our bodies each day and what it gives back in return. We started with three milks that many seniors still rely on: whole milk, rich in saturated fat, quietly taxing the heart; sweetened condensed milk, loaded with sugar, silently clouding the mind and stressing the pancreas; rice milk, seemingly gentle but dangerously lacking in protein and spiking blood sugar with every sip. Each one familiar, comforting. But in truth, these are slow saboteurs, chipping away at energy, digestion, memory, and strength. But then we turn to healing. Fermented soy milk, a complete protein that rebuilds muscles, strengthens bones, and supports cognitive clarity. Unsweetened almond milk, light but powerful, protecting your heart and defending your brain with vitamin E. Calcium-fortified oat milk, quietly restoring your bones, lowering cholesterol and inviting peaceful sleep. And here's the truth. Milk is not just a beverage, it's a ritual. A part of your morning, your coffee, your comfort. And like all rituals, it can either heal or harm, depending on what you choose. So the question becomes, what do you want your milk to do for you? Do you want it to drain your strength or rebuild it? To dull your clarity or sharpen your mind? To burden your heart or ease its load? Starting today, you have the power to choose a milk that supports your heart, muscles, bones, brain, and your future. If this video opened your eyes or spoke to something you felt inside, drop a comment below and type Y1 so we know this helped. Then share. What milk will you switch to starting today? And don't forget subscribe to Golden Years Wellness, where every small choice leads to a stronger, clearer, more vibrant you. Because that one simple sip each morning can be the beginning of your decline or the quiet start of your recovery. Choose wisely. Drink wisely. Live wisely. Have you noticed it too? That subtle shift. The way getting up from your favorite chair now takes a little more effort. How the stairs seem steeper than they used to. How you pause not because you're out of breath, but because something deep inside feels just a little weaker. Most people shrug it off. It's just age, they say. But what if it isn't? What if this slow fade isn't normal at all, but a silent condition stealing your strength every single day? It has a name, sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss. And it doesn't announce itself with pain. It creeps in quietly, day after day, step by step, until one day, the simple things like rising from the bed, lifting groceries, or catching your balance aren't so simple anymore. Here's the hard truth. By the time you reach 80, you may have lost up to 50% of your muscle mass. Not from illness, not from injury, but from neglect. From never being told what was happening or how to stop it. And the consequences are serious. Sarcopenia robs more than muscle. It steals mobility, confidence, and independence. Each year, over 300,000 seniors are hospitalized from falls, many of whom never fully recover. But here's where the story shifts. Because today, science is revealing something remarkable. Muscle loss isn't inevitable. It's reversible. Right now, seniors in their 70s, 80s, even 90s, are reclaiming their strength with simple, research-backed habits. And if they can, so can you. This isn't a message about decline. It's a call to rise gently, wisely, and powerfully. Welcome to Golden Years Wellness, where getting older doesn't mean giving up. It means growing smarter, moving stronger, and living life fully on your terms. But if muscle loss is reversible, how? What do the strongest 80-year-olds do differently while others struggle with stairs, walkers, and loss of balance? That answer begins here with habit number 1. It's not a pill, not a magic food. It's something far more powerful. Resistance training. But before your mind jumps to heavy weights, intense boot camps, or intimidating gym routines, pause. Because what actually separates the frail from the fierce after 60 isn't extreme workouts. It's gentle, consistent challenge tailored to your aging muscles and joints. It's called progressive overload, and it's the secret to regaining strength, balance, and confidence. So what is it? It asks the practice of starting light with movements you can do safely and then increasing resistance slowly over time. Just a little more weight, one more representative, a few more seconds. And that slow increase, it signals your body, hey, I still need this muscle. Don't let it go. Researchers at Tufts University call progressive resistance training the closest thing we have to an anti-aging drug. And it doesn't take hours. A 2022 study from the University of Alabama showed that seniors over 70 who trained just twice a week gained 3.3 pounds of new muscle, 35% more strength, better blood sugar control, improved memory, and stronger bones in just 12 weeks. Here's how super agers do it. They focus on compound movements exercises that mimic real life. Instead of isolating one muscle, they train the way the body moves naturally. Modified squats for getting up from a chair. Wall push-ups for upper body power. Seated rows or resistance bands for back strength. They also emphasize the eccentric phase, the lowering part of an exercise. Why? Because slowly lowering a weight stimulates even more muscle fibers without straining the joints. Think, slow and steady on the way down. That's where the magic happens. And here's the best part, you don't need a gym. You don't need to be young. You just need to start small, consistent, and safe. Because the real danger isn't lifting something heavy. It's not lifting at all. Your muscles are waiting for a reason to stay. Give them one. Coming up next, we'll explore a surprising truth: your brain may be the missing link to keeping your muscles alive. Let's talk about the neuromuscular connection and how to rebuild it after 60. You've now seen how muscle responds to challenge, how resistance training can help you rebuild what age tries to take away. But what if there's a deeper layer? What if your muscles aren't weak because they've disappeared, but because your brain has forgotten how to talk to them? That's not a metaphor. It's neuroscience. After age 60, something quietly begins to break down. Not just muscle tissue, but the bridge between your brain and your body. It's called the neuromuscular junction, the very place where movement begins. And when that connection frays, your body stops receiving the signal. Stay strong, move, react. So you can do everything right, eat protein, lift weights, and still feel like your muscles aren't responding. Because the signal is weak. But here's the good news. That signal can be rebuilt. And the strongest seniors, the ones dancing, balancing, lifting with confidence, they know this secret. Muscles don't just need movement. They need coordination. They need rhythm. They need brain training. So what do super agers do differently? They move in ways that require the brain and body to work together. Tai Chi to enhance balance and body awareness. Dancing to stimulate timing and reflexes. Ping pong or tennis to improve reaction speed. Even learning new movements keeps the neural pathways sharp. And the benefits aren't just physical. A 2020 study showed that seniors who practiced these coordination-rich activities twice per week had up to 31% better neuromuscular function than those who simply walked but movement. They also nourished the system itself using Neuroprotect. Alpha, an antioxidant, acetyl L-carnitine, boosts mitochondrial energy in nerve cells. Huperzine, a from Chinese club moss, protects the neurotransmitter acetylcholine, that go signal for muscle contraction. And then they breathe. Yes, breathe. Super agers activate their vagus nerve, a quiet conductor of calm and coordination, using a simple method called box breathing. Inhale for seconds. Hold for seconds. Exhale for seconds. Hold again. Repeat for 3-5 minutes daily. This calms the system and sharpens it. Even cognitive games, puzzles, or learning new skills help because the brain and muscle share neural circuits. Training one improves the other. So if you've ever wondered why your muscles feel disconnected from your energy, the answer might not lie in your body, but in your brain. Reconnect, reawaken, rebuild. Coming up next, we'll uncover habit number 3. Even if you're eating well and moving right, your muscles may still be starving. Let's talk about micronutrients and the invisible tools your body needs to turn effort into strength. You're doing the right exercises. You're waking up the brain-muscle connection. But something still feels off. The energy's not quite there. The recovery is slow. You're putting in the effort, so why isn't your body responding the way it should? The answer may lie in what you can't see. Because building strength after 60 isn't just about movement. It's about micronutrients. These are the vitamins, minerals, and cofactors your body needs to turn food and movement into muscle. And without them, it's like building a house without nails, screws, or glue. The frame won't hold. Let's start with one of the most overlooked minerals of all, magnesium. Sometimes called the forgotten electrolyte, magnesium is involved in over 300 muscle-related processes from contraction to recovery. Yet more than 70% of older adults are deficient. Low magnesium means more cramps, slower recovery, poorer sleep, and muscles that simply don't respond to exercise the way they should. Super-agers know this. That's why their diets are rich in dark leafy greens, pumpkin seeds, avocados, and almonds. And when they supplement, they choose magnesium glycinate or threonate, the gentle, absorbable forms that actually work. But magnesium doesn't work alone. Next comes creatine. Yes, the same creatine that athletes use. But here's the truth. It's not just for bodybuilders. Creatine is a naturally occurring compound in your muscles. It fuels quick bursts of energy and helps hydrate cells from the inside out. A study from McMaster University found that just 3-5 grams per day of creatine helped older adults increase strength, improve balance, boost cognitive function, especially when combined with resistance training. Then there's vitamin B12 in its active form, methylcobalamin. B12 is essential for nerve health, red blood cell production, and the very signals that tell your muscles to contract. But here's the problem. After 60, stomach acid decreases. That means even if you eat enough B12, your body may not absorb it, especially if you take acid blockers or metformin. Super-agers often test their levels and supplement with the methylated form, which works faster and absorbs better. And finally, the trace minerals zinc, selenium, and chromium. These tiny nutrients support metabolism, enhance insulin sensitivity, and help shuttle nutrients into muscle cells where they're needed most. In a 5-year study from Tufts University, seniors with optimal trace mineral levels had 22% more muscle mass than those who were deficient, even when their diets were identical. But here's the golden rule the strongest seniors follow. Test, don't guess. They don't grab generic multivitamins off the shelf. They measure what's low and supplement what's missing. It's precise. It's effective. And it saves them from overload. Because in the end, it's not just about how much protein you eat, it's about whether your body has the tools to use it. Coming up next, habit number 4. Even if you train hard and eat well, there's still an invisible fire that could be breaking down your strength from the inside. Let's talk about inflammaging and how to put out the flame. You've moved your body. You've awakened your nervous system. You've nourished your cells. But there's something else, something quiet and unseen that might still be holding you back. It's not weakness. It's not aging. It's inflammation. not the kind that shows up as swelling or fever. This is different. It's subtle, chronic, and silent. Scientists now call it inflammaging. It's the low-grade fire that smolders inside many older bodies, breaking down muscle tissue, blocking repair, and interfering with your body's response to both food and exercise. And here's what researchers at Tufts University discovered. Older adults with high inflammation lost 3 times more muscle mass than those with low inflammation, even when diet and exercise were the same. Let that sink in. You could be doing everything right and still losing strength simply because your body is in a constant state of internal stress. But the fire can be put out. And the strongest seniors do it with these 4 daily habits. 1. Sleep deeply, consistently. Just 1 night of poor sleep can raise inflammatory markers like CRP by over 40%. Superagers protect their sleep like it's medicine. They keep a consistent bedtime, avoid screens an hour before sleep, create a cool, dark room, and often support melatonin naturally with magnesium or tart cherry juice. 2. Heal the gut. Your gut is home to 70% of your immune system. And when gut bacteria are imbalanced, inflammation spreads systemically. Superagers eat 30+ different plant foods each week for fiber diversity. Fermented foods like kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi for probiotics, prebiotics from garlic, onions, leeks, and bananas to feed healthy bacteria. When the gut is calm, the muscles can rebuild. 3. Move wisely, not excessively. Yes, movement reduces inflammation, but too much intensity in aging bodies? It can spike it. That's why superagers follow the 80-20th rule. 80% low to moderate movement walking, yoga, swimming. 20% high effort resistance or short intervals, just 2 sessions per week. The key isn't more. It's smarter. 4. Eat to fight inflammation. Their daily menu? Omega-3 fatty acids from wild salmon or fish oil, turmeric and curcumin supplements, polyphenol-rich foods like berries, green tea, and extra virgin olive oil. A 12-week study from the University of California showed that these habits lowered inflammation by 29% in older adults. Want to know if inflammation is blocking your strength? Ask your doctor for a high-sensitivity CRP-H's CRP test. Most seniors range from 3.0 to 6.0. But superagers? They aim for below 1.0. Because when the fire goes down, your strength rises up. Coming up next, we'll uncover a mistake nearly every senior makes timing their protein wrong. Let us explore the anabolic window and how spreading your protein throughout the day could be the key to growing muscle again. You're moving with intention. You're feeding your cells the right nutrients. You're quieting the internal fire of inflammation. But there's one simple shift often overlooked that could change everything. It's not about how much protein you eat. It's about when you eat it. Because here's a surprising truth. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at turning protein into muscle. Scientists call this anabolic resistance, a slow, stubborn decline in your ability to build strength from food. And this is where so many older adults go wrong. They eat toast for breakfast, soup for lunch, then finally pile their protein into dinner, hoping it makes up for the rest of the day. But by then, the window for muscle building has already passed. Your muscles don't operate on a once-a-day schedule. They need regular signals to grow and repair. And that signal, it comes after each meal if enough protein is present. A groundbreaking study from the University of Texas found that older adults who spread their protein evenly across the day, 25 to 30 grams per meal, saw a 25% increase in muscle protein synthesis. Same food, same calories, just better timing. So how do super agers structure their meals? Let's compare. Typical senior breakfast: coffee, toast, maybe a banana, 5G protein. Not nearly enough. Super ager breakfast: scrambled eggs with spinach, a side of Greek yogurt and berries, 30G of high-quality protein, enough to trigger the muscle-building switch. At lunch, they'll choose lentil soup, grilled chicken salad, or cottage cheese with fruit. At dinner, they enjoy baked salmon, tofu stir-fry, or lean beef with steamed vegetables. And when needed, they supplement wisely with whey protein shakes, especially post-workout or when appetite is low. But the goal isn't perfection. It's consistency. Because every time you hit that 25-30G mark per meal, you're telling your body, stay strong. Don't shrink. I still need you. And over time, those daily signals become strength you can feel, rising from a chair without bracing, carrying groceries without strain, walking taller, steadier, with more energy. So next time you sit down to eat, especially breakfast, ask yourself, is this feeding my hunger or my muscle? Coming up next, we'll explore something counterintuitive: how brief, controlled stress can actually reverse aging. Let's dive into hormetic stress and the tiny, powerful challenges that super agers embrace to grow stronger every day. You've nourished your body, strengthened your mind-muscle connection, and timed your meals to build strength. But there's one final layer to unlocking your potential, and it might sound surprising at first. It's stress. But not the kind that keeps you awake at night or raises your blood pressure. This is something different. It's called hormetic stress, a small, controlled challenge that pushes your body to adapt, grow, and regenerate. Not punishment preparation. Not chaos conditioning. Researchers at the Buck Institute for Research on Aging discovered that when older adults are exposed to short bursts of natural stress, their bodies activate powerful defense systems. Longevity genes switch on mitochondria, your cells' energy engines become stronger, and key compounds that protect your muscles from wasting are released. So how do super agers invite the right kind of stress? Cold exposure. Just 30-60 seconds of cold water at the end of a warm shower can activate brown fat, increase adiponectin, and stimulate muscle-preserving hormones. It wakes you up on every level. Heat therapy, sauna use, or warm baths 4 to 7 times a week activates heat shock proteins, tiny molecules that repair muscle damage and protect cells from age-related decline. In Finland, seniors who sauna regularly have 40% less muscle loss. Time-restricted eating. Super agers often eat within an 8-10 hour window, giving their body time to clean up damaged cells and reset metabolic pathways. This gentle fasting enhances muscle quality and energy efficiency. Isometric holds. These are tension-based movements like pressing against a wall or holding a position for 10 seconds. They don't require motion, but inside, your muscles ignite. Even a few sessions per week can preserve muscle signals that say, I'm still here. Keep me strong. These aren't extreme habits. They're intentional, brief, restorative. Like seasoning a little goes a long way. Coming up next, we'll reveal the final and most overlooked habit, a single nutrient more than 80% of older adults are missing. And yet, it could be the key to balance, strength, and independence. You've lifted, breathed, nourished, and even leaned into discomfort. But there's still one final piece to this muscle-strengthening puzzle. And for more than 80% of older adults, it's missing. It's not calcium. It's not protein. It's vitamin D, the silent driver of muscle function, balance, and resilience. Most of us know vitamin D as the bone vitamin, But researchers at Harvard and the Journal of Internal Medicine now call it something more, the muscle vitamin. Why? Because every muscle cell in your body has vitamin D receptors, tiny switches that, when activated, tell your body, repair, rebuild, respond. But here's the catch. After age 60, your skin becomes 50% less efficient at producing vitamin D from sunlight. Even 15 minutes outside may no longer be enough. And the result? Without enough D, your body begins to lose muscle tone, slow reaction time, struggle with balance and coordination, making falls far more likely. In fact, studies show that seniors with optimal vitamin D levels have 25% more muscle strength, sharper posture, and reflexes, and significantly fewer falls. So how much is enough? Most adults need between 2,000 minus 4,000 IU per day, either from fatty fish like salmon or mackerel, egg yolks, D-fortified dairy, or a quality D3 supplement. But there's one more piece, vitamin K2. Without it, all that calcium you absorb with D3 might end up in your arteries, not your bones. That's why super-agers include fermented foods like natto, sauerkraut, or certain aged cheeses, or they choose supplements that combine D3 with K2. This simple correction, just one vitamin, can be the difference between standing tall or slipping when it matters most. So if you've felt a little off balance lately, it might not be your shoes. It might be your vitamin D. Because sometimes the smallest molecule is the key to staying strong. Let's bring all 7 habits together in our closing, because your strength story isn't over. It's just getting started. So here we are. 7 habits. 7 small choices that, when done with intention, can transform the way you age. You don't need to become a bodybuilder. You don't need to chase perfection. You don't even need to do everything all at once. You just need to begin. Because building strength after 60 isn't about lifting the heaviest weights. It's about lifting yourself day by day, from the quiet fear of decline into the quiet power of renewal. Maybe for you, it starts with standing up from a chair without needing your hands, or climbing stairs without grabbing the rail, or simply waking up with a little more balance, a little less hesitation. That is victory, because every time you stretch, breathe, nourish, or challenge yourself gently but consistently, you're sending a powerful message to your body. I'm still here. I'm still building. I'm not done yet. And your body? It listens. Even now, especially now, it's capable of healing, growing, adapting, no matter your age, no matter your setbacks. So if you felt that quiet question inside, could I be strong again? The answer is simple. Yes, you can. You are not broken. You are not past your prime. You are in a chapter of rediscovery, one choice at a time. Start where you are. Use what you have. Do what you can. And if you ever doubt yourself, come back here. We'll remind you. Because this isn't just about muscle. It's about movement. It's about independence. It's about living fully and freely in the body you call home. Subscribe to Golden Years Wellness, where growing older doesn't mean slowing down. It means moving forward, stronger, wiser, and with purpose. Now tell us in the comments, which habit surprised you most? And which one will you start today?